Okay, all right. Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to look at 6.2, the worksheet on number pattern, and today we're going to look at the general term. All right. Previously, 6.1 very easy. 6.1 is actually to look for the sequence of number and just look what is the next few numbers. Very easy one. Then, however, for 6.2, because let's say if we were to find, let's say we have this entire sequence 2 4 6 8 10 12 14, right, or maybe you have another sequence like some random sequence, then we want to look for, let's say, the hundredth term, or let's say if you want to look for like the 436th term, right? So it is impossible for us to keep adding or keep multiplying all the way there, correct? So one simple way or one convenient way that we have to do is to find the general term. So in this worksheet, we are interested to find the general term, right? General term. Okay. All right. So what is the general term? Now, usually, how do we say that it's a general term, right? For example, it is we start with first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term, sixth term, seventh term. So T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6, T7. All right. Now, if we go on, right, because we want it to be an unknown term, correct? So which is the unknown that we'll normally use? We normally use n. So we call this the nth term, or Tn. So the nth term is what we call the general term as well. Alright, general term. Now, for example, let's look at this example, right? First term is 2, second term 4, third term 6, 8, 10. So the sixth term is, as you can guess, is 12, right? Seventh term is 14. So it's either 2 times the term, or it is just plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 and so on and so forth, right? Now let's say if you want to look for the nth term, right? I think some of you can guess already, is 2 times of this number, correct? 2 times of this number, because it is, like, for example, let's say it is first term, it is 2 times 1, second term it is 2 times 2, third term it is 2 times 3, fourth term it is 2 times 4. So the nth term would be 2 times n, right? 2 times n, right? So if we observe the nth term, very easy, we can actually find the general term is 2 times of the number n. Alright, so n is a general unknown number. Alright, now however, let us use this opportunity to also look from this from another angle, which we will use this concept to tackle other problems. For example, now let's say if 2, right, we start at 2, correct? Now actually it adds 0, correct? Alright, so however, 4, right, where does 4 come from? 4 actually come from 2 plus 2, correct? The original 2 plus 2, right? Now, where does the 6 come from? It comes from the original 2, but I plus 2 how many times? I plus 2 2 times, correct? Alright, then let's say the 8, right? Let's say if I start with 2. Now, how many times do I need to times 2 to get 8? So 1, 2, 3. I need to plus 2 3 times, correct? Next one, let's say if I start with 2 again, I will start with 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to plus 2 times 4, correct? And so on and so forth. Now let's fill in the blanks, alright? So generally, this one over here is actually 2 times 1. We add 2 1 time, right? This one we add 2 0 time, if you notice. Okay, if you notice. Alright, so the next one, let's say if it's 2 plus 2 times 5, then the next one is 2 plus 2 times 6, it give you 14. Alright, so now if you notice this pattern, alright, 2 is the same, right? Plus 2 times this one is the same here as well, right? You see everything here is same. Where is the change? The change is actually here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The rest are the same, but this one is actually the changing one. Correct? So one way in which we can write this is, now, if it's the first term, the pattern is 0. If it's the second term, the pattern is the 1. If it's the third term, the pattern is 2. If it's the fourth term, the pattern is 3. Fifth term, the pattern is 4. Sixth term, the pattern is 5. Seventh term, the pattern is 6. So let's say if you go to the general one, the nth term, the pattern should be one less of the number, correct? So 2 plus 2 times the n minus 1. So this will be one less of the number that we give. So for example, if it's 100, 100 minus 1, it will be 99. So 2 times 99. So 2 plus 99 times of 2. Right? So like this. Then we can actually expand, right? 2 times n, 2 times negative 1. So this is actually 2 plus 2n minus 2. So 2 minus 2 is 0. So we are left with 2n. So the general term is also 2n. Okay, so this is the first, this is the second way to think about this. Right? Second way to think about this pattern. Alright, now however, the second way, very confusing. I can sense that all of you are confused, correct? Because of this n minus 1. Sure, why n minus 1? Because if you look at the pattern, this is n, this is n minus 1. If this left hand is n, this will be n minus 1. If this is 3, this will be 3 minus 1. 4, 4 minus 1, 5, 5 minus 1, 6, 6 minus 1, 7, 7 minus 1, correct? So this is very confusing to some of you. However, let me introduce you a third way of looking at this. And with the third way, actually we can make use of the third way to find the thing faster, like very, very fast. And it will work for almost every kind of sequence. So third way, and I put a star here because it is the easiest method that you can think of, right? So instead of starting with 2, right? Instead of starting with 2, first we observe that we add the same number, correct? We will add plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, right? Then second one, we observe that we start with 2 in the second way. But let us, in the third way, we will start with the term before 2. Right, so we got 14, 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. The number that comes before 2 is actually 0. So we are going to start with 0. Right? 0 plus how many times of 2? Plus 2. Right? The next one, 4. 0, right? Plus 2 times plus 2, because from 0, let's say if we start from 0 over here, we need to plus 2, then we need to plus 2. We need to plus 2 2 times. Alright? Then for 6, from 0, we need to plus 2 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. So 0 plus 2, 3 times. Okay? Next one, the 8th, 0 plus 2, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. So 0 plus 2 times 4. Next one, the 10, 0 plus 2, okay, so 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 times. So 0 plus 2 times 5. Right? Next one, the 12, 0 plus 2, 6 times, and so on. I think you can see the pattern already. Right? The next one is 7, correct? Then if you want to fill in the blank, 2 times, 1 on top. Right? So if you notice, 0, like just now like that, 0, the entire pattern is 0. Here the entire pattern is 2 times, correct? However, the numbers that change are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the first term is 1, second term times 2, third term times 3, fourth term times 4, fifth term times 5, sixth term times, and so on. So what we can write here is 0 plus 2 times n. So here 0 plus 2 times n is equals to 2n. So 2n will be the general pattern for this sequence. So the term is either, right, 2 plus 2 times n minus 1 from the second method, right, second way, right, or it will be just 0 plus 2n from the third way. Alright, then yeah, so it's either one of these two, right? I will write either one of these two, or then last but not least, it will be equals to 2n as the final answer. Alright, so we can check the answer for the nth term by replacing, or we call the word substituting, a value for n. For example, if you want to check that this general term is the same, right, we sub in 3, so t3 will be equals to 2n, and this is equals to 2 times 3, so this will give me 6. Right, can you see? Right, then the 99th term, let's say if you want to look for the further term, the 99th term is 2n, and 2n now is 99. So 2 times 99, 198. Okay? Alright, so here, this 99, right, the n is equals to 99. Here, 3, the n is 3. Okay, so this one, the 2n, this 2n, this 2n, right, this is what we call the general nth term. the general term. Okay, so if we got the number n, we can replace the n and we can find any term in a sequence. So this is the purpose of finding the general term. Okay, so this is for first page. Now if this one is a bit like you don't understand because like the 222 keep on repeating, don't worry, let's look at the next example. Right, the next example here, 4, 7, 10, 13 and 16. Alright, next example over here, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16. Now let's check and see what is the difference between each term. So 4 to 7 is a plus 3. 7 to 10 is also a plus 3. 10 to 13 plus 3. 3 to 16 plus 3. So here all the addition, the number that you add are the same. So now let us use the easier one, the third way just now we find, right? So do we start with 4 to build up the pattern? No, we should start with the term before 4. So here 16 minus 3 minus 3 minus 3 minus 3, 4 minus 3 to get the before term, we will get 1, correct? Right? So this method is what we call to find the zeroth term. Right? To find term number 0. This one is the first term, right? So the term before first term is term 0, right? So here we are going to look at 1. We'll start at 1. Okay, we start at 1. Then we want to build to 4, 7, and so on. So we start with 1, right? Plus 3, alright? Then we start with 1 for the second one. We plus 3, we plus 3. So we plus 3 2 times. Okay, same thing the third term for this 10. We start with 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So plus 3 3 times. Okay, so you can expect the first one is times 1. Right. Then the 13, we start from 1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So we plus 3 4 times. Right, last but not least the 16 from 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. So 1 plus 3, right, times 5. Right, so if you can see, first term is 1, second term is 2, third term is 3, fourth term times 4, fifth term times 5, nth term. What is the nth term? 1 plus 3 times n. Alright, so 3 times n. So this will be the general formula, 1 plus 3 times n. Okay, so let's check and see. When n equals to 5, tn is equals term 5 is equals to 1 plus 3n. We replace the n with 5. So 1 plus 3 times 5. So 3 times 5 first, 15 plus 1, 16. So the fifth term, is it 16? Yes, so it's correct. Okay, we check by replacing and substituting back our value. So this one is what the zeroth term method. So we use the third way to find. Easier to find using the third way. Alright, now let's look at the next one, page 3. Okay, page 3. Now just now was adding, right? So now we actually look at the decreasing number sequence, the minus case. So but it's also okay, no worries. Here you got 40 to 36. Minus how many to get 36? Minus 4. Next one, 36 to 32, minus 4. 32 to 28, minus 4, minus 4. Right, minus 4, minus 4. Alright, so far so good. So this is a constant difference, a same difference. Now, so just now what we did was, from the first term we don't start with 4, but we start with the term before 4. So now is 40, right? So what is the term before 40? So what number minus 4, right, will give you 40? Answer is the 44 minus 4 give you 40, correct? So we will need to start from the term before the first. So we start with 44. Right, and then we will minus 4 to get 40 one time. Right, we will minus 4 one time. Next one, the 44, how do I get to 36? I will minus 4 how many times? Minus 4 2 times, times 2. Alright, next one, I got the 44 minus 4, but how many times? So 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, so times 3. Next one, I got 44 minus 4. Then here from 44 to 28, right? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, right? Times 4. So this one, 2 time also can, 3 time also can. We continue. Now 44 minus 4, how many time? Right? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5 time. As you can expect, you see the 44 minus 4 is the same, but the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the one that changes. As you can see from my pen color. Right? Next one, 44 minus 4, right? Times 6. Then we've got the 44 minus 4 times 7. So first term 1, second term 2, third term times 3, fourth term times 4, fifth term times 5, sixth term times 6, seventh term times 7. So the nth term is the same thing, 44 minus 4 times n. So this would be the final general term. Alright, don't have to do expansion and so on, we just do this. Alright, so this would be 44 minus 4n. Let's check our answer when n is 7. Right, the seventh term is now 44 minus 4n. So 44 minus 4 times the n. So here the n is 7. Right, you press your calculator, you should be able to get 16. Okay, if you press your calculator, you should be able to get 16. And lo and behold, 16 is your seventh term. Okay. Alright, so this is, even though it's minus, but here the difference is, right, here we plus, but here the difference is just a minus sign. Right, so if it's an increasing one, you got a plus something. If it's a decreasing one, you got a minus something. Alright, so this is what we do with in order to find the general term. So this one, general term, right, the nth term of the general term. Now we can use this general term to find the big number. For example, what is the 1000 term? What is the let's say 30th term? And so you can substitute with the n to find. Let me just write down one thing, okay? Now here D in page 3, no, sorry, in page 2 or page 3, up to you. Now here D, what we call D the common difference. So for this case, the D is actually a plus 3. In page 3 earlier, the D is actually a minus 4. The difference is a negative 4. Alright? Then T0 is the 0th term. Right? We got first term, second term, so third term, and so on, right? Right? First term, second term, third term. I will call T0 a 0th term. Okay? Now, then the next one is, what is the formula for the general term? So the general term will follow this formula. T0 plus d times n. Alright, the general term Tn is equals to T0 plus d times. Okay, now so for this question 1, alright, if we were to look at the formula for general term, Tn, general term, equals to 0th term, the term 0 plus difference times n. So let's say over here, right, in the question 1, now referring to this formula, right, referring to this formula over here, okay, let me try to adjust. Okay, so referring to the formula, right, so this one, the general term, right, so Tn, right, so what is this actually equals to? Now here we have 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, but the term before the 4 is 0, because you see plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, right? So the term 1 is your minus 4, and then you're able to get the 0 there. Alright, so what happens is, now here in this one is, we're going to have T0, term 0, the 0 term is this one 0, right? And then the difference plus difference times n. So plus the difference is 4 times n. So this one simplify, I will get 4n, right? So like that, right? Term 0 plus difference times n. Right, then the 100th term, we're actually looking for T100. So T100 is actually equals to 4 times 100 over here. So answer is 400. Okay, 400. So this is for question 1. Right, question 2, 3, 4, and so on, you can try later. I'm going to let you see. Okay, the rest you can try. Now, number 7. Now we start with 50, correct? So 50, what is the difference there? Minus 5. Then next one minus 5, next one minus 5, next one minus 5, correct? Now, what is the term before 50? Plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5. What is the term before? The term before is 55. Then 55 to this also, minus 5. So what is the general term? Now, the general term based on this formula, the general term Tn is equals to the 0th term, term before the first one. So this would be, start with 55. Plus d times n. So the d is the negative number, correct? Negative difference. So this would be a negative 5n. So 55 minus 5n. So T9 is equals to 55 minus 5 times the n is 9. So I replace this with 9. So this is equals to 10. Okay, now let's check and see whether is this true or not. So we just pick maybe the 5th term, right? When n is equals to 5, t5 is equals to 55 minus 5 times of the n, right? So this is actually equals to 20. Sorry. Yeah, correct. 30. You press calculator, it should give you 30. Okay? So 30 and this 30 will tally. So this one you can try on your own with the other questions. Alright? So just need to follow this formula. Alright. Now number 6. Page 6. Sorry, page 6. Now page 6. Now, just now is to find the general term. Now they give you the general term. So you need to use the general term to find something. So here what do we do? Find the sixth term. Referring to this formula, right? So T6, right? So equals to 5 times the n is 6. So 5 times 6 minus 3, right? If you can see the color, so calculator, you put this, so equals to 27. Alright? Next one, the T11. So same thing, T11 you can try yourself. Right? T11, here will be 5n minus 3. The n will be 11. Right? So 55 minus 3, 52. Okay? Now last but not least, this one, Tn. Oh. Okay. Now find the n if Tn equals to 77. Right, so if Tn is 77, right, so Tn is equals to 5n minus 3. Which one is 77? This one. This Tn is 77. So this would be 77 equals to 5n minus 3. We are supposed to look for n, correct? So how do we look for n? We will do the usual method, right, of solving the equation. So minus 3, we plus 3 on both sides. So 7 plus 3, 80. 5n, this will be 0. Then how to find n? We divide by 5 on both sides. So our n is equals to 16. So this is the 16th term. Right, so you can do the same for question 2 and you try on your own. Okay, now last but not least, this one. Right, go back home, you try this 6.2 practice 1. Now you find the fifth term. So each one is a sequence. Horizontally is a sequence. Find the fifth term, find the sixth term, find the general term, check and use n equals to 3 to check, and find the 99th term, right? So where does the formula come from? The formula that you should be written in your worksheet. So that's all I have for today's lesson. You have a good day and bye bye.